welcome to our weekly cruise chat. My name is Kathleen Penner. I am the owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Eric. And Eric is from Celestyal Cruises, and I am really, really excited to talk to you today, Eric, because you're going to be going over a cruise you just went on, and I can't wait to hear all about it. So I'm just going to turn it over to you and learn along with all of my subscribers.
All right. Well, thank you, Kathleen, for giving me the mic this morning, early in the morning. Yes, but yes, I'd like to talk to you about probably three important subjects with Celestyal. I think that the first one that I would dive in with is about the itinerary that I just did a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks in a row, actually, which
taking
is
one for the team. It's hard life. Yep.
Right. It's called the Eclectic Aegean. We don't do it very often in the season. In 2023, we're going to do 2 sailings at the early April, and we're going to do 2 other sailings in the fall, in November.
Great.
It's an itinerary that doesn't seem to be popular with our guests and your clients. I don't exactly know the reason why, but I'd like to indicate that it's an absolute wonderful itinerary to do, especially at that time of the year, in the spring and in the fall, since you are visiting the northern part of Greece, which is not necessarily that well known, and there's so much to discover. And on top of that, you have the opportunity right from the get-go to spend 27 hours in Istanbul. I had never been to Istanbul before. That was my first time. And I didn't have enough, even if I went twice, 2 weeks in a row with 27 hours there. This city is absolutely fantastic. It has such an energy and there's so much to offer that even 27 hours is not enough. But to include that in our itinerary is absolutely wonderful. And then you sail over to Kavala, which is a city related, people will probably relate it to St. Paul because there's a history with the Apostle St. Paul. Okay. But there's also a lot of influence through the years, through the centuries, with Ottoman, the Greek, of course, the Romans, and so on. There's an aqueduct that was built as well that just gives an absolute charm to this beautiful little resort town. Actually, just before we started, Kathleen, I was telling you that it was beautiful weather. It was 25 degrees Celsius when we were in Kavala. There's a beach in the city, and we went on and swam in the ocean. So it was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
It is fabulous, fabulous. Then you go to Thessaloniki, the second largest city in Greece, and there's a lot for foodies. So if you're foodie, Thessaloniki is your spot. Absolutely great restaurants as well. So you can mix eating on the ship and also having opportunities to dine off the ship as well. And one of the 2 highlights, Volos. Volos is the entrance for Meteora, and this is absolutely magical. This is where you find monasteries that have been built over rock formations, and just seeing the site, even if you see pictures, it doesn't give the impression of being there in person. It's absolutely wonderful. And then we end in Santorini, and at this time the sunset is around 5:20, and absolutely gorgeous to be in Santorini and see the fabulous sunset, and having like a cocktail while you watch the sun go down is absolutely magical. So if you haven't been in that part of Greece, including Istanbul, put it on your list because it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and I love that it's not super popular ports, so they haven't been North Americanized. You're getting the authentic experience, and I think if you're going to be going over to Greece, do it right. Get that authentic experience and enjoy it properly. That's super.
Exactly. Yeah. Very good reason. Thank you, Kathleen.
Yes.
Also, of course, itinerary that we do the most, the idyllic Aegean. That's a destination, that's an itinerary we do from mid-October to mid-April to mid-October. So this is right in heat of the season.
Literally. Yep.
That's when people want to see Greece, and we focus a lot on the islands. So Thessaloniki, again, that we put on the spot because it's not exclusive to us, but it's almost, because there's not that many ships that are going to Thessaloniki, and that definitely gives it a little plus to be able to sail in the second largest city in Greece.
Wow.
And
Yes.
we bring you over to Kushadasi for specifically Ephesus, but Kushadasi itself as a city has a lot to offer also with museum, shopping, and beaches as well. They have wonderful beaches over in the Kushadasi area. Then we modified this itinerary for 2023. We had introduced Thessaloniki in 2022, but we changed where we took roads out of the itinerary to be able to spend more time in Crete, Santorini, and Mykonos, because people coming to Greece, these are usually the three that they really fathom to see and they had on their bucket list. So we listened to our guests, we listened to our partners, travel agents, and they said that would be great if we would be able to modify that. We listened and we did, and I think that's going to be great because we're in Crete for 12 hours, we're in Mykonos for 18 hours, and we're in Santorini for 17 hours.
Wow.
So no other cruise line will give you that much in the destinations, and that's what makes Celestyal different, is because we're destination focused. You don't feel rushed. You're like, oh my God, I need to get out of the ship because I have just a few hours to visit a destination and then be back on the ship. We give you plenty of time, and even to go out, come back on the ship, freshen up, eat maybe lunch or something, and then go out and still visit the destination. So that's what we're known for.
Perfect. I love that. I love that you're able to stay so much longer because that's what you're there for. And you want to explore, and you don't want to be looking at your watch going, uh-oh, or I guess smartphone for a lot of people. I'm old school, I wear a watch, but you're not going to be watching the clock. And that's super that you do it so much longer. I mean, wow, 27 hours, 17 hours in some ports. Amazing. That's great.
Yeah, definitely so. And then just to finish with the idyllic, we end with Milos, which is a not very well-known island, but absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite. Actually, it's a small island, pretty quaint. The fact that we're having mid-sized ships, that gives us the opportunity to be able to go to Milos. We don't dock, but you go with a tender. But unfortunately, or fortunately for us, no big ships would visit Milos because it's too small to be able to accommodate bigger ships.
Right.
And then you have really, you're going back in time, 3 small little villages, also beautiful beaches that are only accessible by boat. Actually, you need to jump off the boat to be able to swim to the beach, and also swim through the cavern. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I did that last year, and I fell in love with Milos and everything that it can offer.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the thought of just, swimming up to shore, that's unheard of. It's fabulous. I like that. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Wow.
And last on my list, Kathleen, is the fact that we changed for 2023 our pricing offering, where before it was all-inclusive, where we had excursions, 2 excursions included. And we listen again to our guests on board. And in 2023 and beyond, now we introduce 2 types of pricing, and it will offer the freedom of your clients, our guests, to the way they want to sail with us. Literally, there's only 2 things that changed. What stays at the base is meals and port taxes and gratuities. That doesn't change.
Perfect. Yep.
One price will include drinks only during mealtime, so that means during lunch and dinner.
Right.
And an $80 US as a exchange for excursions. So instead of being told which excursions you're going to do, which this is what we were doing before, now it's in your hands and you can select which excursion you prefer.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And I think it's great because for people that have sailed with us before or had been to a destination and had done a specific itinerary excursion or something similar, they had no choice. That was it or you lose it.
Yes.
Now they have a chance to decide and say, I've done this before, but I'm intrigued by this. And the only thing is, well, if they spend over their $80, well, they just pay the difference.
Yes.
What is important is this needs to be done before getting on the ship, because that $80 voucher has no value on board. So you need to make sure this is all done pre-arrival in Greece.
Yes, very smart. Yeah. And it's good to know that ahead of time, because I'd hate to have any clients disappointed and get on board and go, I didn't know. So that's the benefit of learning all this information beforehand and to help our clients to get the best experience. So I love that. So it's kind of, you can swap it out and say, I've already been here, I'm going to choose this one, or vice versa. That's fabulous. I like that.
And the other option is you want more included. Actually, what we call the inclusive, the one I just talked about, is a bit less than what we used to offer. Okay. And the enhanced package is a little bit more than what we used to have. So you're going to have drinks at any time. It's our premium package. So it's even better than what we had before, which was our classic drinks. You have $160 to spend on excursions. And also you get 1 hour of Wi-Fi per cabin, which we didn't have before.
Right.
25% off on our specialty dining on board.
Okay.
It's 45 euros for the onboard dining, the specialty restaurant, which the menu was set up by Diane Kochilas. She's a Greek-American chef. She has a show here in the US. She just started her 4th season. And she helped our chef, Yves Sue, to set up this menu on board for our specialty restaurant. And I had the honor to try it when I was on board, actually on both weeks. Yeah. And it's worth it. Yes, I work for the company, but personally, if I would be a guest and I put myself in a guest's shoes, was it worth to spend the 45 euros to do a specialty restaurant? Absolutely. Try it at least once during your week, or even your 3 or 4 nights, depending how you sail with us. Because it's a 6 course. Actually, it's almost 7 course because they bring kind of dips at the beginning. And then you have 6 course, which is focused on Greek fare and meals and so on. It's absolutely fantastic.
A 6-course meal for 45 euros. That's unheard of. That's crazy. Right? Yeah. I mean, you can't get that on land. So that's a great value. Wow.
There you go.
And it's authentic and it's so tasty, I would imagine. Haven't been, don't know, but by the look on your face, you're like, it was divine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sold. I'm sold.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't say things just because I'm a travel agent and I'm supposed to say things. I say things that are true. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. And I get I understand what you're saying with that. So yeah, absolutely that you're right. It would be worth it. That's great. Yeah, 45 euros. And that obviously is per person.
It's per person.
But that's still a wonderful value. Yes. Wonderful.
And the enhance, if you allow me, Kathleen, the enhance surplus to the inclusive is really worth it. Again, we're not talking like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's really affordable, even more right now when we have our Black Friday sale until December 6th on some of our selected sailings. And sometimes it's just $70 more per person to increase and upgrade to the enhance.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you know what's included. You know that you're going to have a fantastic package laid out for you. 70 is not much at all.
Not much
absolutely. At all. Wonderful. Oh, okay. So any other little tips that you would give since you just got off for 2 weeks of your ship? A special short
Uh,
excursion you loved, or what would you like?
I love Meteora, as I mentioned also
Mhm.
earlier, but also in Thessaloniki, if you are a history buff, I did an excursion of the visit of the tombs of Vergina.
Ooh.
It's about an hour outside of Thessaloniki,
Mhm.
and you visit literally the burial ground, and there's a museum also that was set up for it's related to Alexander the Great. So his father and his son were buried in that area, and you had the chance to see the burial site, which is inside the museum itself.
Oh my.
The lady that was our guide for this excursion was absolutely fantastic. She was probably the best guide I have ever had for any excursions in my life. Actually, she was so knowledgeable.
Mhm.
And in the museum, she was with us giving information for 2 hours. So like nonstop. If you didn't want to listen, you could
Yes.
always take
Yep.
your earplugs out and just
Mhm.
listen, do things on your own. But
Right.
it was a wealth of information, and knowing all this was absolutely stunning to experience.
Yes. And being a history buff myself, I would just be enthralled with that. That would be so fascinating to learn all that little tidbits of history. And that's fabulous. What a great idea to do that.
It is.
Wonderful.
It is.
Yeah.
So that was one of the highlight. And as I mentioned earlier, Istanbul
Mhm.
was just also a highlight of this sailing and they just built a new pier
Mhm.
for ships,
Okay.
and it's called Galata Port, and it's a very very unique area. Also, there's a lot of shopping as soon as you get out of the port, which is part of the whole complex.
Yes.
There's a lot of shopping and great restaurants. And if you get out of that complex, also not too far, there's awesome local cafes and restaurants also, if you really want to have more of a Turkish experience
Yeah.
as well. So this city really blew me away.
Yes, absolutely. It sounds wonderful and something we need to all experience firsthand.
Yeah,
So absolutely, reach out for more information. I would love to get you guys all on board and to visit that wonderful area as well.
absolutely. That'd be great
Yes.
to have you.
Yes, yes. And it's been wonderful chatting with you. I greatly appreciate all the information that you've given us. And I hope everybody has a great week. Make sure that you go back and look at my playlist because I've met with Eric a few times and we've gone over some really, really cool itineraries. So do make sure you check those out once this show is done. So thank you all for watching and I hope you all have a great week. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this week's cruise chat with Eric from Celestial Cruises. It was so nice to hear his experience and to hear about his favorite ports that he went to. He just got back from a 14-day voyage. He did 2 7 days back to back, and he just had an amazing experience. And I'm so happy that he got to share it with us. And so we could learn all of his favorite ports and his favorite things to do as well. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with Charmaine, and Charmaine is from Taup Cruises. And we're going to be going over some of their amazing river cruises, they even have some ocean going things. It's going to be spectacular. So make sure you tune in for that. And I can't thank you guys enough for watching all of my cruise chats. This is episode 102, and we have 102 episodes up, and it is just wonderful to meet with a different cruise line every single week and to share it with you guys so that you can learn all about the cruise lines as well. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next week. Have a great week, guys. Bye.